Okay, so I'm going to use a compass. There are several types of compasses that you can use. This one has a lead already included, but I'm not going to use the lead for this video because it doesn't show up really well. Instead, I'm going to use a pen. So I'm going to use this compass where you can actually attach whatever writing utensil you choose. In this case, I'm going to use a pen. All right. I will start off with drawing a straight line so that I can demonstrate how to construct a perpendicular line and how to construct a perpendicular bisector. The perpendicular bisector problem or line that I draw is going to explain exercise number 2, and the perpendicular line that I draw will explain how you did question number 13. Okay, so let's get started first with drawing a straight line. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arc using this pen. First, let me label this. This first one, I'll just put a point right here in the center, roughly, and call it T. We'll call this line A. Now, what you want to do is you want to use your compass, place it right on T, and draw an arc that will pass through A on both sides of the arc. So let me just adjust it. So I'm going to adjust it right about that wide. And we're going to draw it. It's easier to draw it when you just hold on to the end of the compass and just swing it all the way around. Being careful not to change the adjustment of this compass. Next, you're going to widen the compass just a little bit, and we're going to look at this point here and this point here to make 2 mini arcs. Okay, so we'll start with this side over here, and we'll make a mini arc right above the big arc that we just drew. The mini arc just looks like that. Then I'm going to go to this side where the arc crossed over line A, and I'm going to make another mini arc right here, which will create this X right in the center. Okay, so we'll call this point up here, and we won't call it anything actually. We just make a point there and a point here, and we'll draw another straight line. And this is where we are constructing your perpendicular line. All right, so we'll draw a straight line straight through this point and this point, and I will call this line line B. And we can safely say that A is perpendicular to B. This is a right angle here, and that's how that one's done. Another way you can do the same perpendicular line is we can draw a straight line. This one might be a little easier, I think. And we will make a point right outside of the line, and we will call this point T. Okay? And I will call, since I called that one A and this one B, I'll call this line C. Take my compass, and I will start off by placing it right where T is, because that's the only point that's there at this point. Just like we started here with T, when there's a point that's made available, start with that point. And we're just going to make 2 small arcs that just crosses over line C. So I will make the first mark right there, and I will stay on T, and I will make the second mark right there. It's pretty far apart, but that's okay, it'll still work. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the compass at its current width. Oh, I don't know if you can see all that. Let me bring it over just a little bit more. And I'm going to take the point where that crossed right over C, and I'm going to create another small arc right down the center here. I'm going to go to the other side over here, and I'm going to make another small mark right here. The point is to get them to cross each other, to intersect right there. Okay, that being done, again, we're going to create another little point. We're going to draw a straight line from T through the intersection of these two arcs here. This is a right angle, and we can safely say that C is perpendicular to, I will call this one line D. C is perpendicular to D. Okay? And again, that should address question number 13. Now for question number 2, I will create, just flip this over. So we will, let me take a look here. Okay, so we are going to do a perpendicular bisector, right? So again, I'm going to draw a straight line. Right? And at the end of at the end of the line, I will call each point A and B. So we'll call this one A, and I will call this one B. Okay? And I'm going to take my compass, and I want to make sure that the distance is not so, see how it looks almost like it's in the middle? I want to make it bigger than that. So I'll make it really big, right? And then I'm going to create a really giant arc. So the arc is going to look like that. Mind you, I place the needle point at point A to draw this arc. I'm not going to change the size of the compass, and I'm going to do the same thing starting at line B right here. Okay. So the point is to get these two to cross over, right? Now they should intersect with each other, which they do, and that's going to be where I'm going to draw the straight line. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to, from this intersection to this intersection, I'm going to draw a straight line. When you use this method, you are ensuring that the distance from this center point to B and from the center point to A are equal. And I will call the middle point M. And that is how we bisect this segment. This is the segment, and it's called a segment because it ends there and it ends here. It's not a continuous line. And so what I can say is that this line is definitely perpendicular. This is the perpendicular line bisector of AB. Okay, in your book it does state that it passes through M, and the midpoint of M is considered the midpoint of AB. So you can safely say that AM is equal to M